Hi, everybody. Welcome to your weekly book club call. If you're watching us on YouTube, welcome to all of you, whoever has been tuned into YouTube. And if you have joined us on the Zoom session, welcome everybody to be here on the Zoom session. Some of you who are on the YouTube, and if you want to be on the Zoom session, you can find the link in our WhatsApp community. Or else, if you just want to be on YouTube, absolutely fine. No problems with that. Because the ideology and the understandings that we are going to share with you in this book club, it's all about, understanding what's happening inside our own mind. And it doesn't matter whichever platform you are watching this, it's good to have you. And it's always a pleasure, discussing these ideas, sharing these principles with you all, and helping you to learn that there is a world better than what we think is possible for all of us. And today, we are discussing another powerful chapter in this amazing, incredible little book that we have been discussing, Your Invisible Power. And if you have been on the previous calls, you know what it means by that invisible power, how we can channelize that, how we can actually get to the root of that thing, right? But if you have not been to the previous classes, that's not a problem, because every single week is a new week. However, it carries forward the message from the previous week, where we get into the basic ideas, what we have discussed already, and we merged it with the new ideas that we are about to learn in today's lesson. Now, so far, I'm very much sure that most of you already know that how you can actually manifest the dream life. If you're not even sure about it, that's fine for now. But I believe you must have an idea that there is a way using the law of attraction or whatever you want to call it. There are people who has been using it and they have been manifesting their dream and ideal life, right? And if there has been people who has been manifesting their dream and ideal life, that means you can do it too, right? And we talked about visualization in the first chapter, and we have discussed the ideas that that it is very important for us to understand that we have a mind, right? And the moment you understand that we have a mind, it becomes very easy for you to understand how you manifest, the things that you want to manifest. Now, if you're not familiarized with this concept of the mind, no problems about it, because we are going to just make you familiarized with it today. Now, on this diagram, let this diagram represent your mind, everybody. Okay. Now, let this part represent your conscious mind. Let this part represent your subconscious mind. And this dumbbell shaped element here is brain. And this is your body. Now, what happens is that we all have to understand, and also we have these five sensory factors here, which we call as see, smell, hear, taste, and touch. Now, these five factors that we have here, they actually allows us to communicate with outer world. Okay. Now I'm going to basically explain everything that we have discussed so far, but step by step. Now, what happens is that these faculties that we have, this see, smell, hear, taste, touch, they allows us to communicate with our outer world. However, we have to understand that whenever we are communicating with our outer world, outer world can be anything. And in this outer world, there are ideas, there are, paradigms, there are belief system that you may not want to carry. All right. So, for example, in your outer world, people might be talking about that there is lack of money. People might be talking about, like how people are deteriorating their health. People might be talking about how difficult it is to have great relationships, right? So there can be all kind of ideas that are in your outer world. And what happens is that by experience, I can tell you that majority of the ideas that are here in your outer world, they are of negative nature, because people by law has been programmed to think negatively about their environment, to think negatively about people in their companies, to think negatively about everything around them. And what happens is that when we are communicating with our sensory factors right here, okay, when we are communicating with our sensory factors, what happens is that we pay attention to everything that is going outside and we let them build an image in our conscious mind. And then we build ideas based upon whatever ideas we have grabbed from the outside world. Now, what happens when we have all these kind of ideas, that has been grabbed from the outer world, and we let these ideas to stay in our conscious mind, and we keep thinking about it on and loop. which is very common for us, because we are surrounded in a world where there is a repetition of these ideas happening. Now and then you will find out people talking about how relationship sucks. Now and then you will find out about people who are saying that how bad the economy is. That now and then, you will find about people who will say that how difficult it is to maintain healthy eating habits or whatever, right? And what happens is that when you keep hearing, when you keep listening to those people again and again, again and again, again and again, what happens is you're letting these ideas to drift down into your subconscious mind. And then what happens when you keep thinking about these ideas again and again, again and again, again and again, we are bound to feel emotional about these ideas. In other words, that's where the emotions come into place. So now you're getting emotionally involved with your ideas. Now you have to learn how to manage your emotions. You cannot allow your emotions to manage you. However, you have to learn how to manage your emotions. But what happens in most of the cases, we are letting these ideas in our conscious mind that we have grabbed from the outer world, and then we let these ideas to get synced down into our subconscious mind. And then these ideas, when they are here, they rewire our brain, or ultimately they trigger whatever is already in our brain, which moves our body into a certain state of vibration. And then we take an action and we get a result. So this is how we are getting the results we are having in our life right now. And some of your results are going to be good. Some of your results are going to be bad. And in fact, your results are going to be both of them. Some will be good, some will be bad, and they will be a mix of these ideas. But now this is where we have to understand that we have that invisible power within us. What do I mean by that invisible power? By that invisible power, I mean we can actually stop our mind to getting influenced by the programming that is there in our subconscious mind. Why we allow our sensory factors to get stuck up so much with the outer world? Because we have these paradigms. And that is the reason, these paradigms forces us to use our sensory factors. And when our paradigms are forcing us to use our sensory factors, we are communicating with that outer world. And when we are communicating with that outer world, we are getting all kind of stuff that is going in the outer world, and we let it impress into our subconscious mind. And when that happens, this is where we actually go into the cycle of doom fulfilling cycle, which we have discussed in the previously. But as I told you, some of you might have been new to these calls. Some of you might have never attended these calls. That's why I wanted to make it very clear and specific for you all that you understand what does it mean by when I say this stuff. Now, let's have a look at how we can actually overpower this stuff. Now, let's draw the diagram of mind again here. That's your mind, okay? And that's your body. Now, your mind and body are connected. We have your conscious mind. We have your subconscious mind. We have your brain here. We have your body here, okay? And then let's draw those, those insidious elements that we call as sensory factors: see, smell, hear, taste, and touch. Now, this is where we have to understand that we all possesses this incredible, this marvelous, this amazing invisible power. And that invisible power is, my dear friends, your higher faculties. The faculties that you possess that gives you the ability, that separates you from the animal kingdom, that separates you from other human beings if you use them wisely. And these higher faculties are imagination. Einstein talks about it. And then you have reason. And you have perception. You have will. You have memory. And you have intuition. So these higher faculties are your invisible powers. These higher faculties are your invisible powers. And once you learn how to communicate with your outer world using these higher sensory factors, my dear friends, you get better. You learn how to evolve yourself. You learn how to take control of your own power. Now, let me show you how to do that. Now, first of all, you have to understand that even when you're communicating with your sensory factors, that does not mean that you do not have paradigms. You still have these paradigms here, okay? So you have these paradigms in your subconscious mind. These paradigms are your automatic patterns that stops you. Now, what happens is that you have made a conscious decision in the very first place that you're no longer going to allow the paradigms to take charge. You have made the decision that you're no longer is going to allow the paradigms to make a difference. and you have decided that instead of letting your paradigms make the difference, you are helping, or I must say that you are making a conscious choice here that you're going to use these higher faculties here. And my dear friends, when you decide to use these higher faculties, things become different. You know why things becomes different? Because now you are no longer letting these your outer faculties to communicate with the outer world. And you're not letting these outer faculties or sensory factors to feed back whatever is going on the outer world into your conscious mind. Instead of that, you're using your inner abilities. And what happens when you use your inner abilities? When you use your inner abilities, when you use this inner power, my dear friends, you have the ability to pick whatever thoughts and desire and ideas that you want to build in your conscious mind. Now, what happens is that in this place now, you are using your own ideas, and these ideas are built by using your higher faculty. That means you're reasoning, you're using your reasoning faculty, you're using your reasoning ability now. And by using your reasoning ability now, you're no longer letting the outside ideas to impress itself onto your conscious mind. And when we talk about this reasoning faculty right here, let me just expand this for you. When we are thinking about these higher faculties, okay, and when we are dealing with these higher ideas, we are not allowing ourselves to get controlled by other outer world. And as I told you, I'm going to explain you that again. Your reasoning factor right here, this reasoning factor, let me just draw that back here. This reasoning factor gives you the ability to accept or reject ideas. That means you can accept or reject ideas at your own will. For example, the outer world is telling you that it's going to be a challenging time for everyone coming next year, 5 years or 3 years from now. All right. I believe that those might have been facts. I believe that the people who are talking about it, they might have some data. But the power within your mind is actually beyond any other data or beyond any other thing that is happening in this world right now. And by using that power within your mind, you can actually either accept those ideas that other people are telling you, or you can reject those ideas. Understand that this is one of the biggest abilities of our conscious mind. And Napoleon Hill talks about it in his book, Think and Grow Rich, which has been written many years ago in 1937 or 35. He said that, however, many people do not use this ability for their own use. Instead, they use it against themselves. Now, this is strange, but this is true. Many people use this ability against themselves instead of for using themselves. Now, as I told you, using your higher faculties, you have the ability to build your own ideas, and then you can impress these ideas. Now, how you impress these ideas, this is where I'm going to introduce another principle to you today. You can impress these ideas onto your subconscious mind with repetition. Repetition of the same ideas, repetition of the same thoughts. But understand that repetition is actually obeying the principle of auto suggestion. And principle of auto suggestion is the principle that has been described by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Once again, I'm coming back to the same book because that book is powerful, right? But we have to understand some of the basic principles here. And Napoleon Hill said that autosuggestion is the agency of the mind that helps us to take our ideas from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. And that makes a big difference, my dear friend. I can tell you that makes a big, big difference. So now what are you doing is that, first of all, the step number one, you're using your higher faculties and you're not letting your outer world to communicate with your inner world. And then you're using your higher faculties to build the ideas that you want. These ideas can be anything. These ideas can be to make more money. These ideas can be to do better in your job. These ideas can be to attract a better job. These ideas can be to get into a very healthy and happy relationship. These ideas can be anything. But then the key is to follow the principle of auto suggestion. Let these ideas, circle around in your mind in the form of a loop with the repetition. Because what happens is that when you are thinking about these ideas in repetition and you're getting emotionally involved with these ideas, what are you doing is you're impressing these ideas to your subconscious mind. Understand that the subconscious mind only accepts those ideas which are well mixed with emotion. That means whatever is that idea that you're building in your mind, make sure that you're getting emotionally involved with that idea. Now, as long as you get emotionally involved with this idea, what's going to happen is that this is going to rewire your brain. When I say rewire your brain, this is where now a little bit of scientific fact come into place. Anything that we do over and over again, or anything that we repeat again and again, that has the ability to create, brain cells, new brain cells in our mind. Or other words, that has the ability to rewire the brain cells with the new idea. And that what's happened, you're rewiring your brain when you're thinking about a new goal, when you're thinking about a new dream, thinking about a new idea, whatever that idea is all about. Ultimately, what are you doing is that you are rewiring your brain, my dear friends. And when you're rewiring this brain, what happens is that you're going to see a different vibration. You will be vibrating at a different frequency. And when you're vibrating at a different frequency, your action is going to be changed. Now, you're no longer the same person that you was a month ago, because you have changed something in you. And when you change your action, my dear friends, the reaction from the universe changes. And this action and reaction process ultimately changes your circumstances, changes your situations, changes your environment, and ultimately changes your result. And that is the name of the game. Results are everything. We are aiming to get better results. We want better results in our life. We want to improve our life. We want to get better. We want to attract more money. We want to have a nice partner, all right? Or we want to get into a healthy relationship, or we just want to grow our relationship that we have, or we want to get into a better body, better health. Whatever that idea is, that doesn't make any difference at all. But the key point here is that once you follow this, what I have just explained to you on this slide, this invisible power slide, my dear friends, things become better. You just get into a better idea. You just get into a better flow of who you are. And today, I'm going to read this a little bit for you from this book now that I have in my hand. And I'm going to share with you, that mental picture, that idea that we are building. What is the function? What is the operation of that mental picture? We're going to discuss that now. All right. So if you have your pen and paper ready with you, that's going to be an awesome. If you don't have it, I'll encourage you, please, get ready with a pen and a paper, and then let's get following with this process now. Okay. Get ready with a pen and paper and try to write down anything and everything that is attracting, any idea that you find interesting, any idea that you think is good for you, any idea that you think can help you, become better at your life. Just write it down. Okay. Now, let me read that for you. So this is a chapter number 4 from the book, and it starts by saying that, the operation of a large telephone system may be used as an example. Okay. So the main head, or the central, subdivide itself into multiple branches. Now, every branch has a direct communication with the main central branch, and each individual branch, recognizing the source of its existence, report all things to its central head. Okay. Therefore, when assistance of any nature is required, new supplies, different repairs to be done, or whatnot, the branch in need goes at once to its central head. It would not think of referring its difficulties or its success to the main central of a telegraph system, though they might belong to the same organization. These different branches, centrals, know that only remedy for any difficulty must come from the central out of which they were projected and to which they are always attached. So what does this signifies about building our mental picture? Now, first of all, understand that, my dear friends, when you build a goal, when you build an image of your dream, the dream that you want to manifest, the big ideas that you have for yourself, something that you desperately want from the bottom of your heart, okay? Nobody is going to believe in you. Now, I kept a silence for a few seconds for purpose. Because as long as you set a big goal in your life, as long as you go beyond whatever you think is possible for you, people around are going to think that you're mad. People around you are going to think that you have just gone crazy. This is not possible. And people will try everything that is in their, in their purpose that to stop you. Now, I'm not telling you that, they're doing it on purpose. Okay. They're doing it because they care for you. And in their ignorance, they do not know that they're not helping you at all. In fact, they're making things more worse for you. They're making things more bad for you. They're just giving you an idea that something is not possible. Instead, in their ignorance, they are being just completely unaware of the possibilities that are there within a human being. There are possibilities within you. There is a possibility within you. And the only person who can recognize that possibility, it's you. That's why whenever you're talking to other people, all right, that's fine. You can share your goals if you want, but I encourage you, do not do that. People around you. And that's why this, they said that, let's take an example of a telephone system. So for example, let's say there is a broadcasting station and there are multiple lines that are the part of the broadcasting station. If there is a problem in one line, that line is going to report back to the central station from where it is being operated, not to the person or the line side guy. Why? Because he or that line, ultimately the program knows that the solution is going to come from the center. So what does this mean in our life? What does this represent in our life? That means when you're having a goal, the solution is going to come through you. Until or unless you don't hold that belief system within you, you're not going to attract people. You're not going to attract ideas. You're not going to attract anybody that you are not going to attract anybody, that is going to help you. So it's you who has to believe in your system and abilities. Once you do that, and then you will see how people will be attracted towards you. Then you will see that how you will attract everything and anything that you want. But in the beginning, it has to be from you. Now, let me read the next lines. That is going to make more sense to you. If we, as individual branches of the universal mind, would refer our difficulties in the same confident manner to the source from which we were projected, the use of remedies which it has provided, we would realize what Jesus meant when said, ask and ye shall receive. Our every requirement would be met. Surely the God, the Father, the universe, whatever you want to call it, must supply the child. The trunk of the tree cannot fail to provide for its branches. So when you're practicing the power of visualization, when you're practicing, the power of meditation, or whenever you're practicing these amazing, incredible facilities that we talk about in our mind, we have to understand that. We have to understand that we have to trust. The first process here, if I write it for you in bold words, it is to trust. You have to trust the universe around you. You have to trust that everything and anything that you want, it will be yours. It's your belief system that has to change. Understand that our belief system, about anything is based upon our evaluation of that thing. And the more we reevaluate our beliefs about certain things, our belief system about that certain thing is going to change. So if you want to get better, if you want to improve yourself, if you just want to get better and better and better and better, just learn about it. Just build a better belief system. Get to a point where you know what are you doing. Get to a point where you know why you're doing. Get to a point where you know everything happens for a reason and you're doing it because you want to get better, because you want to improve your life. So trust is very, 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 very important. All right. Now, understand something very powerful that Thomas Troward said. Troward says that if we can get at the working principle which is producing these results, we can very quickly and easily give it personal application. First, we find that thought of the originating life or spirit concerning itself is its simple awareness of its own being, and this demanding a relationship to something else produces a primary ether, a universal substance out of which everything in the world must grow. Let me simplify this for you. So what is Troward saying is that he said, if we can get at the working principle which producing all these results. So what is the working principle? The working principle is that there is a divine power around you. There is a divine power around me, and there is a divine power that is flowing to and through me. All right, let me just go to the next page. All right, just a moment. Let me just save this one. All right. So let us understand that. Okay. What is Troward is saying here is that Troward is simply saying that there is a divine power that is flowing to and through you. And you need to understand what is the working principle. Okay. So the working principle is very simple. So there is a divine power, and this divine power is not just outside. That divine power is everywhere. That is in you, that is outside you. It's the same power. And understand that this power is flowing to and through you all the time. All right. This power, it is flowing to and through you all the time. So what makes the difference? The difference is that how we channelize this power. How we channelize this power, and how we channelize this power, that depends upon what kind of thoughts we are building in our conscious mind. And how we build our thoughts, what thoughts we build on a conscious mind depends upon what is the paradigms that in the subconscious mind. And the only way to change your paradigms is working from your higher faculties instead of working from your lower faculties. You see how everything makes sense when you just try to understand what the Thomas Troward is about to say that? And this is the reason why these book clubs calls are very important for you to be here. This is the reason why you should invite as many as people you can on these calls. This is the reason why you should, go on your social media and tag us, let people know about these calls. Let them know, the incredible information that you are actually studying here. And Troward doesn't stop here. Troward said that thought, she said that Troward also tells us that though this awareness of being is a necessary foundation of any further possibility, it is not much to talk about. It is the same with individual spirit, which is yourself. Before you can entertain the idea of making a mental picture of your desire as being at all principles, you must have some idea of your being. That means you must have some idea of who you are. And this is where another understanding comes into place, who you are. How do you recognize yourself? Do you recognize yourself being one with the universe? Or do you recognize yourself being a different identity from the universe? How do you recognize yourself? Do you recognize yourself that you are one with the universe? Do you recognize yourself that you can achieve anything and everything that you want to achieve? Do you recognize yourself that it is within your power and your ability to attract the results that you want? Do you recognize these things? Think about it. Think about it for a minute. Do you recognize that? Or do you see yourself someone who is a complete different identity or different, entity from the universe? Or do you think that you and universe are completely different things? If you have an idea in your mind that you and universe are a completely different things, let me tell you, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in huge, huge trouble, because now you're seeing yourself being separated from the power. You're seeing yourself being someone, who has to attract that power. You're thinking about someone who has to get that power. In other ways, or if you understood it in a reality, you already have that power within you, my dear friends. The whole universe, it is connected to you. So what is important? This power, the universal power that is flowing to and through you, how you're channelizing it. That's make the difference. What ideas you're building, what paradigm do you have at the subconscious mind? And if you change your paradigms, you will channelize this power in a better way. And when you learn how to channelize this power in a better way, you get better. And that's what he continued by saying. He said, as you grow in understanding as to who you are, that means the more you understand your connection with this divine power, the more you understand the connection with your universal intelligence, where you came from, what the purpose of your being is, and how you are to fulfill that purpose for which you are intended, you will become a more and more perfect center through which the creative spirit of life can enjoy itself. And you will realize that there can be but one creative process filling all space, which is the same in its potentially, whether universal or individual. That is the key point. The moment you understand that there is no differentiation between the universal power and your power, the moment you understand that, everything that is there for you, the moment you understand that, like that everything that you have attracted so far is there for you, and everything that you will attract from this point onwards, the moment you grasp this understanding that the universal power and the power within you are the same, you're going to attract different things. You're going to become a more powerful source of attraction. You're going to become a more powerful source of motivation. You know why? Because then you will be controlling the flow. And that's what it is needed. And then he continued by saying that the more enthusiasm and faith you are able to put into your picture. Okay. Now let me describe that back to you again here. Now, because this is very, very key point, my dear friend. And I can literally, we cannot afford to miss it. All right. So let's draw this one here. So let's draw our mind again here. That's our mind, the conscious mind. All right. The mind, sorry, not just the conscious mind, the body. We have our mind and body connection here. And your mind and body is divided into two parts. And then we have this dumbbell shape element here. All right. See, small here, taste and touch. Now, let's understand what he's saying. So basically, what he's saying here is just simple. All right. So, sorry for that. All right, here we go. So what it says that the more enthusiasm and faith you're able to put into your picture. Now, where we are building that picture? We are building that picture in our conscious mind. So that means the image that you're building in your conscious mind, the more enthusiasm and faith. Understand these words. What do you mean? It says that the more enthusiasm, okay, and faith you feed into your image, you're able to put into your picture, the more quickly it becomes a reality for you in the visible form. And your enthusiasm is increased by keeping your desire secret. You see, that means this image, this dream that you have for yourself, keep it a secret, my dear friend. Because not everybody around you is going to willing to listen to your dream. Not everyone around you is going to be happy. Not everyone is going to be supporting you. Not everyone is going to be helping you and encouraging you. So understand that the moment you speak it to any living soul, the moment is your power weakened. Your power, your magnet of attraction is not that strong and consequently cannot reach so far. The more perfectly a secret between your mind and your outer self is guarded, the more vitality you give your power of attraction. One tells one's trouble to weaken them, to get them off one's mind. And when a thought is given out, its power is dissipated. Talk it over with yourself and even write it down and then destroy the paper. However, that does not mean that you should strenuously endeavor to compel the power to work out your picture and special lines. So you know what you have to do is? You have to really, really dive deep into your ideas and you have to become one with your ideas. So all you have to do is make such a mental picture of your heart desires and hold it cheerfully, hold it cheerfully in your conscious mind. And the more you hold it cheerfully with your will, you see, now we have to use our other higher faculty. So what we have done is by using a reasoning faculty, first we have shut down these faculties, and then we have used our perception to concentrate on what is positive in the world. And then we have used our imagination to build this great power. And now after using our imagination, we have to use our willpower, that is to hold on this image. And the more you hold on to this image, you know what's going to happen? You will be fixating this idea to your memory. That means you will be impressing this to your subconscious mind from your conscious mind. And you see how these all faculties are playing a part now. And then this is going to get emotionally involved with it. And then your intuition is going to kick in. And your intuition is going to give you more ideas. How you can manifest this dream. How you can get that money. How you can get that health. How you can get that relationship. And when you get impress these ideas and you keep impressing that alters the vibration, that alters the action, changes the circumstances, changes the situation, changes the environment, and changes the result. You see how simplified these ideas are, but how important they are. So the only reason your picture does not always materialize is because you have introduced something antagonistic to your fundamental principles. Very often, this destructive element is caused by the frequency with which you change your picture. So never change your picture. Once you decide that this is what I want once and forever, and then stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to your picture that you want to attract. Stick to your picture that you want to manifest. And then just hold on to that vision. It doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter what people think about it. Doesn't matter whatever they say. It doesn't matter. Does not matters at all. All you have to do is build on that idea. Build on that visualization. Build on that. And you will see how things will change. You will see how you will get better. You will see how things will improve around you. So on that note, and I wish you very happy weekend wherever in the world you are. And I will encourage you that next week when you come back with more positivity, with more energy, with more enthusiasm, because we know that, we all have the ability to get great results. We all have the ability to help everybody in our life. And we all have that ability to get the results that we want for ourselves. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. As it has been absolute pleasure speaking to you. It has been absolute pleasure being here. And I think, it's just going to keep getting better and better from this point onwards, the book club. The recording will be on YouTube. You can watch it later anytime when you want. Any questions you have later on, you're more than welcome to send it over the WhatsApp group. And I'll be more than happy to help you and support you. Thank you so much, everybody, whoever being here or who have been watching on YouTube. It's an absolute pleasure.